Today in Performer's Workshop, we are going to explore hidden fears. Now,
Not again.
But you want me to expose me first to the old claws? It might hurt me hemorrhage.
It wouldn't.
then
Hurting your image, it wouldn't do much. Your image has already been hurt.
you have proved over and over how courageous you are, and many of you have done the same. For instance, conquering the fear of speaking in public. So we will not discuss the fear of addressing a group, which is a very terrible fear to some people. But these will concern natural phenomena,
I don't have any fear.
perhaps dreams or things of the subconscious that scared you a lot when you were a child that you never got over.
Ew.
It does not have to be a personal experience that happened to you. We will begin with you, Emma.
I heard that Jose lost his job at the hot dog stand he was working at.
When did this happen?
I don't know, I think it was about 2 days ago.
He lost his job. He's unemployed. His folks are overjoyed.
Eddie, don't you know if you're not going to say anything nice to me, don't say anything at all. Go on.
What a shame.
Well, I have so many fears it's hard to push it all into just one, but I guess probably one of the things that scares me the most is knives. I mean, being shot with a gun is bad enough, but somehow you think of a bullet as leaving a nice clean hole. But a knife is so ripping and puncturing, and I'm mostly scared
And
of
it's severing, too.
I'm mostly scared of the looks of them, and as well as meat cleavers and axes, things like that. I never go to see those movies like Margie does, where there's all these sharp puncturing things.
Well, to tell you the truth, Emma, I don't like to see them either, but I have to, because this guy always comes up with these tickets for 2 people.
She's steady good point there. Yeah, a nice sharp point to puncture you with, Emma. No, but I know what you mean. Getting blown up or something, just one great big shot and it's over. But the other, very mercy.
Squint's afraid of getting certain things removed.
That's what I mean.
You're afraid of impalement.
Yeah.
And she sometimes can be speared.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I was always afraid of axe handles.
Why the handles?
Because I saw a movie one time where he was going to kill this guy with the regular axe the way, it should be done. And he was raising it up and the top flew out. And he lost it, so he just beat him up with the handle. It was so gross.
What about that thing with the mallet? Like in that, what was that movie?
What, the
The
shiny?
Shiny?
Yeah, the shiny.
Yeah, but
That was those little croquet mallets.
hidden with the mallet.
Those hurt because they're not sharp, and they don't do anything.
That way
They break up
you
your
live
bone.
longer and hurt longer.
You get bludgeoned.
It's terrible.
Well, I guess if I had to narrow it down to a fine point, I don't like that analogy.
You really got that point on your mind.
Good point.
Yeah. Well, that's a very common fear. I think perhaps that's why they use so many in horror stories. There's something extra gross and scary about sharp, ripping and tearing instruments.
Torture.
Don't speak about it.
Squint, what are you afraid of?
Well, now, I would have to say
Not much.
that as much time as I've spent on this series and among dangerous fires and all of those things, that I still have a terror of being eaten alive by a shark or getting me leg torn off by a gator
In Ireland.
and all of them things. So I work with them all the time, and I've always tried to overcome me awe and fear of them things. Still, there's something about the idea of them huge turret or the
Cavernous
poison
mouths.
of the snakes.
Have you ever seen those giant catfish? They have mouths big enough to swallow a whole man.
That's
I
what
don't
I
know your
mean.
size, but
But
most
you see,
average men.
the main point being that the idea of being chewed on while you're alive, that sends shivers up me.
But you do it all the time. You're always endangering yourself by the things that you do. Why do you persist in doing that?
Because I want to conquer it. I want to look it straight in the face.
Well, you've
And
looked it
master
straight
it.
in the face for a long time now.
But that group would include sharks, snakes, gators, and all related subjects.
Yeah, you never overcome your fear and dread of a terrible bite like that, or the mutilation factor. It still worries me, too. We have to admit, we've admitted it to ourselves, that we get, really imaginative fears and all before we go down in the water.
Yeah, you have to psych yourself up. Right before we take our dives, it flashes through our minds all the things that could happen.
Well, look at all
Then
those
it could be the last time.
strange little kind of things that could eat you alive, like little piranhas and stonefish and
All of them.
man-eating seaweed.
And I ain't even mentioned the sea snakes.
Ooh, I know I would never attempt to get as near to those things as you do. Neither would I. I'm very terrified of those living creatures like that.
Well, the main thing to remember, though, is that they're scared of you, too. Usually they'll back off.
Usually.
But it's unpredictable. And there's the factor. We've been in some really narrow escapes. And you never really get completely used to
Well,
it.
we went diving for pearls one time, and there was this clam, those certain oysters that have pearls in them. Well, I thought it was one, and it caught onto my finger, and it took a long time to get it out. And imagine those giant clams if you got caught in there.
Oh, I know. Every time we go to all them strange places, I get a new feel of all them snake and shark and stonefish, and that Australia was full of all that terror.
I know, but if you stay on the right beaches, you don't have to worry about it.
Like you say, as much as we go and explore them things, you think that we get hurt more than we do, but it hadn't been too many really awful things happen, but the possibility is there, and that's what worried me a lot.
Like the time I got the anaconda wrapped around me. Now that was real
That was something to
terror.
consider.
That was horrifying, but you just act with reflex, and start.
Squint had a big
Stabbing
bruise
with the-
on him because that snake was so heavy.
I could have been strangled. Me ribs could have been cracked. I'm lucky to be sitting here today telling you about it. Yeah,
He's lucky to
Yeah,
be
then
sitting at all.
he goes right back and does it again.
I
That's how
wanted
he
to
is with
be.
women.
I wanted to be in a war and see how I would face all them bullets. But I never got the opportunity to do
I know
that.
that millions of people have been in
Sure.
wars and they're glad they weren't in a war.
But you have to lay yourself right on the line there. But instead of proving myself that way, I've done it through the elements and nature, which is just as terrifying, if not more so.
Well, you proved yourself pretty good. I don't even know if you have to do it anymore.
That's what I say. He could rest on his laurels.
Her. Hear me, good-looking laurels.
Oh, Cuthbert, what are you most scared of?
Oh, everything.
Like this?
I have a really fear of bugs, I mean, sure, I'm scared of all those things, too, that you guys mentioned, but there's something about a crawly bug, this little legs and
Like a millipede?
fuzzy antenna sticking out, and they have poison in them, some of them, and bugs, all the way from beetles to ants and even harmless
I
bugs.
like the beetles.
It gave me a lot of worry. One time I got bitten during the night and had a big red spot on me, and nobody knew what did it. And of course that was scary too, I didn't know if I'd been poisoned or not. And I guess I wasn't because I'm still here. But anyway, I guess I'd have to say, along with what you've mentioned, that I've had bad dreams about bugs, and they even grow to giant size in my dreams. I don't
I wonder
expose
why.
myself to very much physical danger in the day-to-day life, but if I feel anything funny crawling on me, I can really go into a panic.
Yeah, well, I can too. I don't blame you. Even ants can drive me nuts.
What about fleas? They got little legs coming right out of their face.
I guess that with me, oh man, I have a lot of fears, but one of the most persistent, I guess, has been I'm very scared of dark, lonely streets and alleys. I have a real horror of walking down a place like that. I'm scared of bugs and all these nature things and guns and knives and all, but it seems like in my own life the most likely possibility of happening to me would be sometimes I shop and I stay rather late and then I'm going home. Then I'm walking back to my car and I have to walk down these, downtown where some of those really dark looking streets are with alleys leading off of them. And I get really uptight, my hair
She
seems
came
to
from
stand
New
up on the
York.
back of my neck. And I'm just sure someone's going to jump out and mug me or one of those kind of things, perhaps.
That's why I'm always there to protect me.
Yeah, well,
No one would want to jump Eddie.
if I can help it, I don't go there any more than I have to by myself, but it does happen every once in a while. And, it reminds me of the subways from New York, and a lot of crime does happen there. And I'm also afraid of someone breaking in my house, that I might come home and someone will be in there hiding and leap at me as soon as I walked in the door.
Are you afraid of rape?
He probably wish somebody would desire, huh? Clem, how dare you? You're forgetting what a terrible crime that is. Now, if you could pick the rapist yourself,
Well.
and make sure that he's the kind you want, that'd be different. But usually they're terrible looking, and they're, really punks or really ugly.
1,
And
2, 3, 4, with the
Rock, lobster.
And besides that, Clem, you're forgetting that a woman doesn't have to be young and beautiful to be attacked. See, they can be old, and there's even been 84-year-old grandmothers and everything. And so I think this is really basically sound fear
Not
that
to mention Monica.
I have. Well, that's very true. Many people these days are especially worried with the increasing crime rate.
There was this one street in Buffalo. I think it was called Union Street. That was the ugliest street at night. It was ugly in the day, but see, it led out to the waterfront. And it was really ugly. You could hear all the foghorns and everything. And there was constantly people who had been killed there and got thrown in the lake there.
Have you noticed it down on Insecki It's gotten a lot worse.